I don't mean to scare you. No, wait, maybe I do mean to scare you. If Trump returns to the White House, you can kiss these freedoms goodbye that we all take for granted. And elections, forget about it. That's over. That's done. If he gets in, I can tell you right now, he will never leave. He will never leave. You know that. He will never leave. What does that mean? Is that the country we want to live in? Do we want him running this country and saying, I'm not leaving, I'm dictator for life? I hope this new ad campaign reaches outside the bubble to remind supporters of what a danger he is to our lives. This is not a threat. This is a reality.
The only reality that Robert De Niro showed there is that he's an unhinged nutjob. You're about to see what could be the newest, the bestest Trump campaign ad ever featuring Robert De Niro. As you know, Robert De Niro has been a Hollywood A-lister for decades. But unfortunately, over the last few years, he's been suffering through an awful case of Trump derangement syndrome. If you don't think TDS is real, you've never watched an episode of The View, which I don't blame you. And you haven't seen what's happened to a number of Hollywood elitists, like Rob Reiner, Stephen King, and many, many others. But today, Dementia Joe thought it might be a good idea to send Robert De Niro out into a press conference in front of the courthouse where the Trump trial is going on. Yes, in front of the Trump trial courthouse. What a stupid move. And it didn't go well whatsoever.
Democrats, you are gangsters. You are gangsters.
You're washed up. You fucking DeNiro. You're a little punk. You're a softy. You're a nobody. Your movies suck. You're trash. You're trash. You're done. You're done after this guy died. You're done.
Oh, poor Bobby. I'm sure he didn't expect that at all. If you didn't think that this trial was politically motivated before, you surely do now. What transpired was pure theater. This was De Niro completely unhinged. And unfortunately for Bobby D, it was live without a net. No retakes. And it will work wonders as a Trump campaign ad. Let's go ahead and check out the whole thing. You are not going to believe it.
I mean, this is really, even these people over here are it's kind of crazy. It's really crazy. And this thing, Donald Trump has created this. He should be telling them not to do this. But he's just...
How did he think people were going to react that he was going to show up and trash Donald Trump? Did he not think he was walking into the belly of the beast? What a stupid move.
He wants to sow total chaos, which he's succeeding in some areas and places to do. Anyway, beside all that, this is my neighborhood, downtown New York City.
And he won't be able to walk through that neighborhood anymore.
I grew up here and feel at home in these streets. I feel comfortable. The Twin Towers fell just over here, just over there. This part of the city was like a ghost town. But we vowed we would not allow terrorists to change our way of life. And we started the Tribeca Festival to bring people back.
Who cares about your film festival? I mean, seriously, you're talking about a political campaign and you're standing there talking about what you did to help bring people back to New York City.
I love this city. I love this city. I don't want to destroy it. Donald Trump wants to destroy not only the city, but the country, and eventually he could destroy the world.
Donald Trump is purely Dr. Evil at this point. $1 billion. This guy's nuts.
But we vowed we would not allow terrorists.
They're breaking him. He can hear what they're saying. They're saying, "Let's go, Brandon," quite loud. And he can't read the little notes that he's got there because they're just drowning him out. This guy has been an A-list actor for decades. Nobody talks over Bobby D. And right now he's being blasted.
I owe this city a lot. And that's why it's so weird that Donald Trump is just across the street. Because he doesn't belong in my city.
I didn't know it was his city. Did you know it was his city? No, you either? No, I didn't know it was his city.
I don't know where he belongs, but he certainly doesn't belong here. We New Yorkers used to tolerate him when he was just another grubby real estate hustler masquerading as a big shot.
He's got more money than you, Bobby D. I'm sorry, you've done tons of movies, you've been through Hollywood for decades, but he's just a money grabber in New York. No, he's a billionaire, dude.
A two-bit playboy lying his way into the tabloids, pretending to be a spokesperson for himself. He was calling it as himself for himself.
You have to think, whoever scripted this for him, why did they script this? It has nothing to do with the economy. It has nothing to do with the campaign. And I'll tell you why they script this kind of stuff, because they have nothing to talk about. There is nothing positive you can say about Dementia Joe.
To fool the press into inflating his net worth. A clown.
I think Cappy Hochul said that too, so that clown word must be in their talking points memo.
But this city is pretty accommodating. We make room for clowns. We have them all over the city. People who do crazy things in the street, we tolerate it. It's part of the city, it's part of the culture. But not a person like Trump who will eventually run the country. That does not work, and we all know that.
We all? Who are you speaking for specifically? Because you say, we all know that. I'm pretty sure there were, 80 million people in America who thought he did a pretty good job, who liked lower gas prices, who liked lower grocery prices. What are you talking about?
Anyway, we make room for clowns, to each his own. But
I guess not. To each his own. So if that is true, if it's to each his own, why are you even talking? Let people vote who they want to vote for. If it's to each his own, but you don't really mean that.
No one takes him or took him really seriously. They take him seriously now, of course. But around the country, people who didn't know him as we did started to support him. They bought into his bullshit.
You mean like the stuff you're spewing right now? The stuff that Dementia Joe had you come out here and spew? You mean that kind of bullshit? I got you.
Trump bought their votes with outrageous lies and empty promises.
Trump bought their vote with lies. Hey, I'm going to make sure your taxes are lower. Okay, I'm good with that. I'm going to make sure you pay less for gas. Okay, I'm good for that. I'm going to make sure that the interest rates are lower on your mortgages. Okay. None of that was a lie. It all happened. It all happened, and we all believe it will happen again. So please, Bobby D, tell us where the lies are.
He got the most religious evangelicals to applaud a sinner who bragged about sexual assault, and who, just a couple of blocks from here, a jury found him liable for sexual abuse.
So some evangelists got together with a sinner. That means all of us, every single one of us, including you, Bobby D, are a sinner. And I just wonder if people dug into your past, with all of the movies that you've made, with all of the women that you've known, might there be something in your closet? Are there some bones there? I don't know. But I'm sure if people went up through the same type of scrutiny that this young billionaire guy went through, I'm sure they'd uncover some stuff from you. Did you ever sign an NDA? I bet you have. He's changing pages on his script right now, and a guy behind him is reading along to see how far along the script he is.
Somehow, he even got self-styled patriots to support a man who called for terminating the Constitution.
Did you know that? Did you ever hear Donald Trump talk about terminating the Constitution? I would love to see the reference point on that one.
And on January 6th, rallied an angry mob to threaten democracy, leaving death and destruction in its wake.
I'm pretty sure Ashley Babbitt was the person who got killed. That was the death. The other stuff has already been debunked, is not true. And by the way, he did not lead them. He actually told them to not go, be peaceful. So again, you're lying to everybody. You're just reading a script. We can see you reading a script.
That's why I needed to be involved and wanted to be involved in the new Biden-Harris ad, because it shows the violence of Trump and reminds us that he'll use violence against anyone who stands in the way of his megalomania and greed.
I love The Godfather. Many of you know in my videos I've made Godfather references, but this is absolutely nuts.
But it's a coward's violence. You think Trump ever threw a punch himself or took one? This guy who ran and hid in the White House bunker when there were protesters outside? No way. He doesn't get blood on his hands. No, he doesn't. He directs the mob to do his dirty work for him.
I guess this guy's never seen Antifa, never ever seen the Black Bloc. Like it's some ghost that people on the left don't even acknowledge is out there. But, you know, let me know who Trump has directed and said, go do this, go break up this. I'm pretty sure we haven't seen it. They've convinced people on the left that he has, but those of us with a, functioning brain know that's a bunch of bullshit.
By making a suggestion, an inference, and his gang grovels and follows his obvious order.
So all 80 million of us grovel. We actually just go down and just submit to whatever Donald Trump says. That's what he's saying.
It's no surprise that the murder rate and other violent crimes peaked under Trump.
Whoa. Again, they just put this stuff out there and just let it go, and somebody wrote this for him. He's just reading lines. He's a bad actor at this point because he's having to actually read the script in front of him instead of just talking. If you really feel this way, just say what you mean. Say what you feel. Why do you have to read it?
And are falling under Biden. And now he's promising to use our own military to attack U.S. citizens.
Have you heard that one? Wow, man. Nobody fact-checked his speech before he went out there and read this, that he's using the military. I'm pretty sure there's another guy out there who's probably in the White House right now sleeping who said he wanted to use the military. In fact, he just said that at the West Point commencement. And you're standing in front of the courthouse where he's using the DOJ to go after his opponent. But let's not tell Bobby that.
That's the tyrant. That's the tyrant he's telling us he'll be. And believe me, he means it. When Trump ran in 2016, it was like a joke. This buffoon running for president. No, never could happen.
He's reading it like Biden reads his speech. Buffoon. Never could happen. Put some emphasis in that.
We'd forgotten the lessons of history that showed us other clowns who weren't taken seriously until they became vicious dictators. With Trump, we have a second chance. And no one is laughing now.
We all are laughing at you, Bobby. You've actually given us some comedic relief in the midst of this Trump trial. We are definitely laughing at you.
Is the time to stop him by voting him out once and for all. We don't want to wake up after the election saying, what, again? My God, what the hell have we done? We can't have that happen again. Yesterday was Memorial Day. It's a good time to reflect on how Americans fought and died so that we may enjoy the freedoms guaranteed to us by a democratic government. A government that, as President Lincoln said, of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Under Trump, this kind of government will perish from the earth.
So he's not going to do anything that the people want him to do. He's not going to run this country, of the people, by the people. I think he's speaking about the Biden administration. He is actually speaking. Nobody wanted to send gazillion dollars over to that country over there. Nobody says, hey, listen, let's go spend hundreds of billions of dollars over there. Can't even say the country. That's another thing. We can't even say it. That's how bad people don't want it. I don't know about you, Bobby, but I don't think a lot of people want their kids playing against kids that aren't supposed to be playing against those kids. Again, we have to tap dance with language because of what Dementia Joe has done. You're not getting it. The freedoms that you think Trump is going to take away are the freedoms that have already been taken away that we're trying to reinstate. You are a nut job. You don't even understand what you're saying. You understand that if things happen the way they've laid them out and what they want to do, your movies can't be shown anymore. You think you're going to rake in gazillions of dollars of royalties or even act in future movies? It ain't happening unless you get approval from whoever is going to be in control of the speech and language in that movie. And then make sure when you do a movie, you've got, 50% of the people better be people of color, and then you better bring in the other denominations. And by the way, maybe your next leading lady might not be a lady. You okay with that? I'm pretty sure you're not. I'm pretty sure you're full of shit.
I don't mean to scare you. No, wait, maybe I do mean to scare you.
You're 5'9", you weigh about 170 pounds.
If Trump returns to the White House, you can kiss these freedoms goodbye that we all take for granted. And elections, forget it.
And that's just it. He just said it. We all take it for granted. When you can't say the words that you want to say, you don't understand your freedoms are already infringed upon. If you're watching this video, if you're watching anybody on YouTube, you're watching anybody on Facebook, you already know those freedoms that you used to know as little as 4 years ago are no longer there. They are subject to somebody else's authority.
About it. That's over. That's done. If he gets in, I can tell you right now, he will never leave. He will never leave.
If that's true, why did he leave last time? They never answer that question. If he would never leave and just stay in the White House until he's basically old and gray, then why didn't he already do that? What stopped him from just saying, you know what? I'm done. I'm staying here. They're just making shit up now and hoping to, like he said, scare you. I want to scare you.
You know that.
No, I don't.
He will never leave.
No, he won't.
What does that mean? Is that
It means you're a nut job.
the country we want to live in? Do we want him running this country
Yes.
and saying, I'm not leaving, I'm dictator for life?
He can't take it. So they've been heckling him, and now somebody triggered the alarm, their car alarm, and it's just throwing him off his game. And what you're about to see is probably the most unhinged moment of this speech. If you thought it was unhinged up till now, what you're about to see is just classic meltdown.
I hope this new ad campaign reaches outside the bubble to remind supporters of what a danger he is to our lives. This is not a threat. This is a reality.
There's nothing reality. There's nothing real about what you're saying.
And that's why I've joined the Biden-Harris campaign, because the only way to preserve our freedoms and hold on to our humanity is to vote for Joe Biden for president.
So I thought this wasn't political. I thought coming to the courthouse where Trump is on trial was supposed to be distant, that this had nothing to do with politics. Funny. You're standing outside of the Trump trial courthouse and you're talking about vote Biden. Come on, man. The whole thing has been rigged. The only question I have is, why are they doing this press conference now? And why did they send De Niro out to do it?
Really? We don't have a choice.
Yeah, we do.
On January 6th, while Republican lawmakers despicably tried to keep the loser Trump, in the White House, and Trump-inspired insurrectionists stormed the Capitol, brave men and women from law enforcement put their lives on the line to defend this country.
All right, so I got to take a second here and got to set this next part up. This is amazing. Now, understand that Trump supporters are way over there somewhere. They're not near the podium. The only people in front of the podium are reporters. I'm not sure who asked him this question or says what's about to be said, but some reporter who's had enough, who obviously has said this is complete, unadulterated bullshit, speaks up and says something that completely drives De Niro into a meltdown.
Our democracy. They are the true heroes. These guys are the true heroes. They stood and put their lives on the line.
Now, those guys behind him are a couple of the police, and one guy's a cop, the other guy might be a security guard of the Capitol. And these are the guys that they've brought out and trotted out into the J6 hearings, and they were trying to say that these guys were heroes, and then they both got caught lying. They both perjured themselves during the congressional hearings. Now, watch what happened.
For these lowlives, for Trump.
They lied under oath.
Okay, I want to make sure you heard what he said. Some reporter said they lied under oath. He just said it right to De Niro's face. They lied under oath.
They lied under oath. Right. Who lied under oath? What are you telling me?
Those two traitors lied.
Excuse me?
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Those two traitors behind you.
They lied under oath?
That's right.
What are you saying?
They're traitors.
They're traitors. I don't know. I don't even know how to deal with you, my friend. I don't even know how to deal with you.
Broke Bobby. Trump broke Bobby. Bobby De Niro, you just got completely wasted on national TV on a live broadcast, live without a net. You got broken.
They stood there. They didn't have to. And there were other ones in there who probably were in with them a little bit too, and they found a way to get around. Not these guys. They stood there and fought for us, for you. For you.
Well, they weren't fighting for me.
No, they fought for you, buddy. You're able to stand right here now.
Only on the streets of New York City, with the car alarm in the background. If you had Robert De Niro on your bingo card, you, Dana Marie Perino.
Fox cut away after that. They had enough. Which, interesting enough, I tried to find the rest of it on CNN and MSNBC. They didn't even carry it live. That's how little they thought of Bob De Niro going out and talking in front of the courthouse. They didn't even cover it. As a New Yorker, as he proudly claimed, De Niro will not be able to walk the streets of the city anymore without being basically accosted. To many New Yorkers, he will now be an outcast. He's damaged goods. I doubt he gets another Hollywood role. Watch this. Watch how the people of New York responded to Robert De Niro.
You loser!
We're trying to be gentlemen in this world. The Democrats. You are gangsters.
Excuse me.
You are gangsters.
You're washed up. You're a softie! You're a nobody! You're moving suck! You're trash! You're trash! You're done! You're done after this, my guy! Robert De Niro puts Donald Trump in the face! Traitor to Italian and Jews! You're a traitor to Italian Jews!
It's sad to see what has happened to Robert De Niro, but he has absolutely deserved it. And the backlash that will result because of this is Dementia Joe's fault. This might be the worst political mistake in American history. You have to ask yourself, why did Dementia Joe and Kamala Harris even send him out there? This may be one of the biggest epic fails in political history. And I'm sure Donald Trump is probably going to use this to his advantage. Let me know what you think about Robert De Niro's unhinged rant at a press conference live without a net across the street from the Trump trial courthouse. What a stupid mistake. Let me know what you think.